right, Jeff.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, brother?
And nothing.
I see we got Serena in the house.
What's up? What's up for everybody already home? It's time to
Well,
go live.
not Selena, Serena. I'm sorry, Serena.
Time
Serena,
to go
say
live.
something to us if you still out there, Serena. Yeah. Yeah, how you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing good. Just glad to be another day on God's green earth, man. Just glad to be here. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we got, you guys, we got another, episode of two DJs and a mic. Uh, and we appreciate you guys as always, showing love and sitting here chatting and kicking it with us. Um, we have a very interesting show coming up. How you doing, James? Mr. Corona, give us a thumbs up or something if you're out there, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just kind of waiting for some people to come in. And if you're out there, seem like they coming in and dropping off.
Yeah. Well, we're still live. It's still good. So
Oh
we
yeah,
all good.
we
Uh yep.
still gonna do our thizzle, as they say.
This nizzle.
Hmm.
Yeah. 35. So when did you start? As a wee teen or wee toddler?
Yeah, it was. I was 13 going on 14, Jeff.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you started before I did. Well,
Yeah,
you started younger than I did.
yeah. I was 13 going on 14, and it's actually been more years than that. So
Yeah.
it's actually 3 more years. It's actually a true like 38 years
Yeah.
that you know. No, that was back in 1984. 884. You remember that?
Yeah. So I really started then because I was in high school. So I started, but I'm not really counting it until I bought my first tables and really got into it. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was cassette decks and flipping cassettes and all that stuff. So it really no, it didn't have no real equipment, but that's where it all began. So it is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? And with that, within about a year and a half or so, me and one of my best friends, we had equipment.
Mhm.
We had at first we started just makeshifting, putting stuff together. You remember the old toy record players that we wired two of them together,
Wow.
you know.
Yeah, we've all had to do some things to make it work.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But I ain't mad about it. But it was all a blessing, man, and uh, I really enjoyed that process because it taught me some valuable lessons.
Because you think if they would have just gave it to us or we had it, would we have worked as hard to get? Maybe we probably wouldn't have worked as hard to learn the craft because you had well maybe not having the proper equipment made us better in the beginning because we had to deal with horrible equipment in the beginning. So by the time we got the good stuff, it was totally different.
Oh yeah, it was. I'm just saying. Once oh no, it was. Like you say, man, it was a different era then, and it required you to do some different things. And I definitely do think that going through it in the manner that we went through it
Hmm.
add something to, I would say, our DJ character.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know,
Yeah.
so I really do appreciate that. It was a great thing.
Yeah. So let's dive on in, brother. Let's dive on in.
All right. We got a lot of content. What's up, Lindy?
What's up?
Uh,
What's up?
y'all. We're gonna ask y'all to brace yourself because this is two DJs and a mic, unplugged, so to speak. So brace yourself. Uh, our first topic is the big give. You know, um, and I'll let you start, Jeff. because that was a really wonderful situation.
Yeah, first I just want to say thank you to everybody who donated. I don't want to miss anybody, so I don't have my list in front of me. But Tiffany, Chris, Mike, uh, Mario, Gus,
Mark.
and Tim, everybody that gave, everybody that sent something, everybody that was able to donate to the cause. And I mean, that young lady was overjoyed, man. She tried her best not to cry, but that was a young lady that with 3 kids, we were able to bless her. And each year it gets better and better because, the first one we got, I think we did 500 the first year. I went back and looked it up, 650 the second year. And this year we reached 800. So it's doing nothing but getting better, even with the small amount of participants that we had. Everybody really did make a big give. So with that, I'm going to let you have your say, sir.
Well, I was very grateful for the people that gave, man. It was awesome. Like you say, seeing her face and seeing how excited she was, and not just her face, seeing the face of the people around that were listening.
Yeah.
That touched them. The young man that was taking the picture for us.
Yeah.
How him and his lady friend or his wife or what have you, how they were looking. It was a beautiful thing, man, to be able to do something for somebody else.
Yeah.
No matter what their living condition was, but to do something for somebody else that you didn't know from Adam.
Yeah.
My one of my only problems with that was the participation of the 291 people that we have in the group. I think with the limited numbers that we got, it really showed how selfish.
I think with the limit.
Is that you, Jeff?
Yeah, that's me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Double dipping with the mic.
No, I was just trying to make sure I'm reading the comments. You good? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Jeff.
Yeah, that's me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Double dipping with the mic.
No, I was just trying to make sure I'm reading the comments. You good? Go ahead.
But anyway, it was very disheartening to see that we only had the amount of people that gave and also the amount of people that showed up. Now, I know that everybody couldn't show up, but everybody had the opportunity to give. You created a link that people could give on. You created all of these different avenues that people could have gave. Now, I will say some people may have been totally unaware of this in the way that they should. But man, we got to get better when it comes to doing things for other people. And to see that we only had the limited amount of participation that we had, man, that was so disheartening and so that upsetted me very. I'm talking about that really upsetted me, and to me it just goes to show how inconsiderate and how selfish some of us are when it comes to doing something for somebody else. And like I told you the other day, I look at that in a couple of ways. Either you don't believe in the cause, or you don't believe in the people that's bringing the cause, or you just straight out selfish and it's just about you. And that's just kind of how I see that, because that, man, if 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 everyone could have saw how that lady looked and how she felt, and like I was telling you, I had gave her a hug and she didn't even want to let me go. She was squeezing me so hard.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show how much she really needed what we did for her.
Yeah, man. Because even the lady at the cash register that we gave the rest of the money to, she was like, the balance. She was like, man, y'all don't know what y'all doing for her. She has 3 kids and, she in here. And it was just very, very touching, man. It was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. So
But I'm gonna leave that there, man. And if I offended someone, uh, I'm not gonna say that I'm sorry, because if you could have did something, you should have did something. You know, and if you're offended by somebody asking you to help somebody outside of yourself, then you already got a problem, and it really doesn't matter to me
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because that ain't cool. We all talk about how much money we make and how much you should charge for events and all of this other stuff. We always talking about these things, and you shouldn't do an event under $1,000. Okay, well, if y'all out there doing events for that amount of money, $5, $10, $3, $8 ain't gonna hurt you. And I understand, Landy, that you might not been aware, you might not have been on here, and I know that some people may not be on here or may not check. But I'll say this: there's a lot of us that do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for the ones that do, that's who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
I'm talking to y'all.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody's not aware, but I don't know. We aware of what we want to be aware of, but it's all good. It's all good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all good, and we're gonna leave that there.
But, yeah, it was good to be a blessing to another person. Hopefully,
Yeah.
she'll remember it and she'll be thankful and she'll go do something good with it for her kids. And hey, who knows? She could have been a month behind on something.
Yeah.
And she needed something, or she really wanted to get something for the kids, and we were able to bless her to be able to do that. Or who knows?
I'm telling you, she almost caved my back in.
Yeah, she was wonderful, and
yeah.
she didn't know. And I always laugh and get a great feel out of it when I know that what's about to happen. And, what they could be having a bad day or anything, but just she was just great the whole time. She didn't know what was coming, and it was good to give her that great surprise. So,
all
right, we're gonna move on to the next one. I saw this post the other day about liability insurance, and we had some crazy comments, but everybody should be insured, because I guess that's another tick in the hat of being a professional, having liability insurance. And when a venue calls you, you ain't got to scramble and go by day of or whatever, just so you can do the event. You already got it taken care of. So that's just a hard one to beat up. But
yeah, and that's one of those things I think that comes with growth in your business. Because I have had conversations I've gotten phone calls from guys. Hey man, do you know anything about you got to have insurance to work at certain venues? Have you ever had that where you had to have insurance? I got a call like that a couple of weeks ago from a guy.
Oh wow.
Now, but the thing is this, Jeff, this is a guy that predominantly works in clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look at it, how someone like that may view the business is totally different than someone that's predominantly doing weddings and corporate events and school events and so forth.
But the same thing, you can get your equipment destroyed in a club or somewhere.
I agree.
As fast as you can at a wedding, maybe faster there than you can at a wedding, but it's probably not a requirement. They probably,
it's not.
It's requirements, but yeah. So
and I'm just saying, there's a percentage of people out there, DJs, that don't know.
Yeah, don't know, and that's crosstalk. Educate. That's why we're here, to try to tell, spread the word and share the word, and little things people might not know. Let's give it to them. Give them the meat and potatoes. Now, what you do with it after we give it to you is strictly up to you. But don't say we didn't tell you.
Yeah, and there are companies out there that you can go to get insurance. One of the company that I've been using for years is Insurance Canopy. I've been using them for years. I've been one of their clients for maybe over 10 years now.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Peep, we use RV Nucio. Some people use State Farm. It's a bunch of different companies, but just make sure that they meet the numbers that are required by the venue,
yeah.
or the hotels, or whoever asks you to provide insurance. So that's important. Don't just get some to be getting some. Make sure they know what they're doing, and they writing you up a good policy to cover your DJ setup, and if you got other people, more than one setup, and also cover your equipment loss if something happens. If
Mhm.
God forbid you got a trailer and your trailer gets stole. I know I've heard of people getting their whole
A
trailer.
lot of people.
Yeah, and that's a lot to replace. You really don't realize how much money you got or how much you invested until somebody take it away from you or something happened to it.
I had a good friend of mine, and someone that I introduced you to.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he does rentals,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and he rented out some subs, to a guy that he normally rents, equipment out to. Guy leaves the equipment in the vehicle in his driveway. Guys break in there, steal everything. Now somehow they break in there and steal everything, and this is what's crazy. My buddy saw something on Marketplace, on Facebook Marketplace. And he's looking at these equipment. He said, "Man, them look like my subs, and that look like what's his name equipment." Another friend sent it to him. Say, "Man, hey, these Mexican dudes trying to sell all this equipment for $2,500."
Wow.
And it was over $10,000 worth of equipment. So he calls the guy like, "Hey, man, do you know anything about this?" And he said, "Man, I was gonna call you, man. Somebody broke into, in my
Oh, he hadn't even told.
no, and stole everything."
Oh, wow.
Now he had insurance, the renters insurance and stuff like that, but they didn't cover the subs because his name wasn't on the receipts.
Oh, wow.
So now he has to come out of pocket to pay, my buddy for two what are those QSCs 181s.
Oh, yeah. And that's not a beautiful sight.
Oh no.
Yeah. So what? Make it short. Did they get him, or did they catch him, or were they able to go get this stuff back?
They found out it was some guys that stayed down the street, and they caught him some kind of way because they were he used his mother car or something. But yeah, they didn't have the equipment. That was gone.
They had already sold it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Wow.
was gone.
Wow.
Yeah. So, so insurance is important, man. And
Not
one thing that
you in the venues, but just
in general, because you gotta cover your stuff, man. People doing wicked things out there.
Wicked.
Yeah. What's up, Garrett?
what's
DJ
up?
Hutch in the house. But yeah, people doing wicked things out there, and we have to protect ourselves. In regards to venues and hotels and so forth, what they require is all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I've only had one situation where one particular venue wanted something outside of the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But what they require is pretty much the same.
Yeah. There was a thing going around with it, and I don't mean to beat this thing, but what's his name? A venue, Mediterranean Villa, was requiring something different.
Yeah,
they can get like a $500,000 certain little party insurance. I don't remember. I just said, hey, I won't ever work there again because
they tried to do that to me. I sent them what I know, what everybody else, and left it at that. And I never.
I don't know if they were just trying to keep people out the venue or what that was, but that was a little crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, James? Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
All right, moving along, brother. Go right ahead. What's the next? All right, handling song requests.
Hot topic, smoking hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they doing this now? Bad Bunny?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I actually
And
had somebody do that to me, but it wasn't for Bad Bunny. It was for
mhm.
another song, but it was funny. I laughed because I say this is my first time, so it was actually funny. But if it happens over and over, then I'll be like, wait a minute, hold on, man, stop, 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 stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you handle them, Mike? How do you handle a request?
It really depends on the situation that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say for instance, 99% of the times I know one of the questions that I asked on my questionnaire is how many people will be attending the event. Uh, and once I vet the client and just kind of find out what's going on, will kind of dictate if I need to have a buffer.
Yeah.
And if it's one of those situations where it's going to be a lot of people and I need to have a buffer so I can focus, I'll have someone there that will take down, either write down or take down request on a notepad. Or hey, like you say, I like that. Get it in there. Got a
No
new
song
program
request
out
might
there.
become one of our sponsors.
Yes, yes, one of our
Get
sponsors.
get you some QRC code, QRC things
Yeah,
come out. They can just text in their request
yeah,
directly to you. Also, they can tip you through that app, but we won't jump into that. But yeah, that's a good way to have a buffer. Yeah, because
yeah. And I actually have a QR code where they
already,
can take a picture and it goes to a form, and
mhm,
we can get it that way too.
yeah,
Uh,
he
so
he's taking it to another level.
oh
But
yeah,
like Saturday night, man, we had a plan down, and the plan got thrown out the window. So we were doing a 360 at the Gaylord, and I was down the street at another place, and the night didn't go as planned. So I had to do it by myself. So I had requests coming up these stairs, requests coming up those stairs, and I'm trying to keep the party going. So, I'm handing them the tablet here, write down, write down, write down, and, trying to get them all in. People throwing money at you. Hey, I need my song right now. I'm like, look, I'm doing the best I can with the situation I got. So, yeah, I always got a buffer because my wife goes with me all the time. And then I have two roadies that I rotate between and take with me too if my wife can't go. But
but
yeah,
you
man. But handling requests, and you have to deal with people in a dignified way. Yes, I'm gonna play it, or I'm gonna try to get it on. Or sometimes you just have to be honest. Hey, this doesn't fit the vibe of what we got going on right now. Because some guy came and asked for the Fox song, man. I'm like, the Fox song. You remember that song? The Fox.
yeah,
I'm like, this is something funny for the mood. I said, that's just for you. There's 500 other people in here that might not find the Fox song funny. I said, if I see a moment or where I can sneak it in, I'll try to get it in. But I took his request and said, listen to what he said. But I was diplomatic about it and said, hey man, I'll try to get it in. But it's some craziness sometimes people ask for.
and I'm gonna say this two things. You had a very unique situation that I think should be brought up because people don't. Well, I'm not gonna say they don't normally see it this way, but just because you have people coming and asking for a song request doesn't mean that you're not doing a good job all the time. Like
Yeah,
you said, everybody was out there dancing, but you still have people running up asking for songs because the songs that you're playing and the way that you're doing what you're doing is creating these emotions and making people think about certain things like, oh man, I want to hear this. And then the fact that they see people up there, it's like a floodgate opens up. It doesn't matter how good the party is going, that doesn't mean that people won't still ask for a request.
yeah. And
So
a thing on that one, a point on that one. Usually I get a playlist from whoever I deal with. Hey, give me something. Hey, ask your employees for some stuff, whatever, point me in a direction. Because, if you're doing mixed crowds, you got this, you got Spanish, you get bachata, they want a little bit of everything, hip hop, country. So if you give me an idea, even though that still might not be right, it still gives you something to work with to start with. But from this client, I had zero, zilch, nothing. So I'm going in looking, okay, where do I go? Where do I want to go? It was a holiday party, Mike. I played 3 Christmas songs.
mm,
So that tell you from the word play, I think I started with a Christmas song. I threw one in when they were giving away a prize, and I tried to sneak one more in, but they was like, no, we came here to have a good time. So it was a party, man. That was a good one. But yeah, every situation is different on the on those, and you just have to play it to the best of your ability and make it work for you. You know, do what you can and take your requests, deal with them in a respectful way so they respect you. And I don't know if you slide into the next one or whatever, you know, on your next topic or what's next. What we got next? Or are you good on this one?
Yeah, I'm good on it. I just wanted to say that following that, just reiterate, be mindful that just because people are asking for requests don't mean that you're doing a bad job.
That's a good point. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Situational awareness. Know what's going on around you. Yeah, we had a incident when somebody in within the family this weekend that got jumped on, but it dealt with requests, and we don't really know the whole situation, but somebody drop kicked them from behind, or kicked them, or hit them from behind in the middle of a show, and then poured something on their controller. So you have to be situational awareness, know what's going on around you. If somebody's coming at you, or there's potential for something to break out, if somebody's fighting in front of the booth. I mean, because I've seen fights right in front of the booth, and I'm trying to protect my equipment. Hey, I don't need you to break these needles. Back in the day, in the club days, you have weddings where stuff pop off, but you need to be paying attention to that. When I was a club DJ, I probably paid more attention to that than anything, because fight live pop off in the club at any time, and club owners, hey, turn the music off as soon as they start fighting. Cut it off, because you don't want none to keep going. And it's just, you have to be aware. Just like you reading the crowd, you have to watch them for craziness, fights, potential things, or somebody getting too crazy, or you playing something that may, you never can tell, it might be some gang stuff in there, or anything, I don't know, something might offend somebody. So you really have to be situational awareness. And your thoughts on this one, Mr. Miguel? 2 mics.
Well, I agree with you, Jeff, and like when we were talking about this the other day, uh, um, you have to spend more time looking and observing than figuring out what your next move is going to be. And we have to realize that music creates all kinds of emotions, man.
Good and bad.
Yeah, all kinds. And if you don't be aware of those type of things, and if you're not paying attention and you're just kind of trying to figure out what you're going to do next, you don't know what type of emotion that you're creating. You don't know what's really going on in the room. And as a DJ, man, you should see everything, depending on how you're set up and where you're at. And for the most part, we're always where we can see everybody. And we have to pay attention and realize, it's just like, okay, it's like being at an event and you decide that you're going to play Lil Jon, Put Your Hood Up. But you don't, Jeff, you kill it. But you have to realize that, or you're playing that song and you're not even paying attention that you got gang members in here, some from the South, some from the East, and some from the West. And you decide to play Put Your Hood Up. You automatically created chaos.
Yes.
You are responsible for that.
Yeah.
So there are so many things, and some people, oh, that's black people or whatever. This happens with all types of people. And we are truly what it says, the master of ceremony.
Yes.
When it comes to the music, you have to pay attention to what you're doing and how it affects others, and pay attention to how people are, what they're doing. You see this dude steady going up there hitting his liquor. He's steady drinking. And just like with the situation, the head guy of a company poured liquid into a controller.
That's crazy. That would have took a lot of restraint for me not to take the controller and
Hey, 2 piece. In,
at
in a
least one or one something.
yeah,
But
in
yeah,
a biscuit.
I give you a funny story. So one night, me and my brother doing a college party, and we playing, and I don't know what the reaction was around the rest of the world, but we played Teddy Club up.
Mm. And that's exactly what they did.
Oh, they didn't. Man, it was like you heard a tidal wave coming off the dance floor. Like it
Mhm.
was just they just bum rushed the floor, man, and just went crazy. So we didn't even get to the first verse. We got to tell it, and that was it.
Yeah.
We had to cut it off because man, it was like crazy. So situational awareness, man. I never played that song again. I was doing a wedding not too long ago, and the guy asked me to play Tele Club. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, man, play it. I think I got it in, and it was totally different. They were meek and mild, but that night, that was one of the most. I mean, it was like everybody in the whole club just like everybody got up and just started running to the floor. It was so crazy, man. It could have been 10 or 15 people, but it just seemed like the whole dance floor was just running toward the stage. It was crazy. So yeah, situational awareness. And back in the club, you always should have been aware of what not to play and where you were at and who was in the building and just all those things. You got to have a little bit of street knowledge with it too.
Oh yeah, you have to realize that you have control,
Oh
and
yeah,
you have to administer that control. Like I say, you're given medication, and you have to make sure that you don't create some bad side effects.
yeah,
You know, with the administering of medication. So you have to pay very close attention to your patients
yeah.
because if not, your patients are going to turn into psych patients.
You're gonna need a jacket. And a great point that you made too is talking about watching somebody that's drinking heavily and falling and coming to the thing and almost falling into your booth to make a request. Those, yeah, you have to be aware of that. See that coming. Okay, he's stumbling over here. I need to cut him off or meet him halfway to keep him from breaking something up, or the drunkens that's coming leaning in the booth. You almost need to cut them off at the pad. But it's just like you say, you got to be, not only are you paying attention to what's going on in that control of that laptop, you got to pay attention to what's going on around. And it's just one of those things. But all right, brother, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Practicing important or does it really matter?
Yep.
This is your question, so I'm on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a question for me, and I really would like feedback on this outside of just ourselves. Uh, from those that are listening. Uh, how important is practicing to you? And does it really matter? Is it important to you to know your music? Is it important to you to not only know your music, but to practice your craft and to get better? Or are you one of those people that feel like you where you need to be, and that's good, and you can just go from there? You know, is that important? Because for me, you disappearing, Jeff. You got to come up closer. You fading away, uh, into the green, into the wall. Are you trying to get away? Like
No,
Southwest?
I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm letting you go. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, to me, even though I've been doing this over 35 years, I still get in the lab weekly and try to get better and better. I still listen to myself and hear things that I can do better. I still pay attention to how people are responding to what I do when I'm DJing. Even if I feel like it's a negative response and you know what, I should have did this like this. I pulled this out too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Or I came in too soon.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't let the song play long enough. I
Yeah.
let the song play too long.
Yeah.
I pay attention to all of those things. I'm observing myself when I'm doing something. So to me, Yes, it matters. It matters a whole lot because I look at it like this, and I know you let me go. Uh, I look at it like this. Most of us watch football every Sunday. When they have a player that don't practice the entire week, what are the chances of them letting him play? Or what are the chances of him being able to play to his peak?
Slim to none. It's yeah. It just depends on what your job is. But there's a great commercial out right now about. I've seen it a couple times talking about. I don't. It's on TikTok or Reels about amateurs practice to not get it wrong, or practice to figure it out.
Wow.
Professionals do it to where they don't have to worry about getting it. I mean, they do it so much to where it's like second nature, where they don't get it wrong anymore. So I'm gonna have to hear it. I need to get those words because it was really powerful. I heard the first time, like, yeah, amateurs do it not to get it wrong. Professionals do it so much to where they don't get it wrong anymore. It's just their whole thing is just to do it with easy flow. Had a couple comments. Somebody said it's extremely important. If I hadn't been practicing, especially before I gig, I get a little nervous before I start that gig. It's important to practice. For me, I'm always trying to learn to better myself. Yeah, and as right now, as much as music comes out, you have to get in there and hit it sometime because you need to get familiar with a new song, find the breaks, do whatever you're gonna get out of it, an in and out point where to start it. Because it can have a crazy intro unless you got an intro built in. It can have a drop where it's gonna go into somebody talking that could kill your dance floor. So it's good to be familiar with. And I remember me and my brother, we used to work at this club together. I did a lot of stuff with my brother, but we were at a club. People used to always say, "Man, do y'all ever practice?" We was like, "No, not really." But we had been doing it so long, I've been doing it so long that it's like riding a bike. But when you play every week, it's like you practicing anyway. But to make a long story short, the pandemic turned me into a practicer again. So you ain't got nothing to do. So you just get in there and play, and just go back to learning. So it was like the pandemic just did different things to change it, make me better, send stuff to other folks, let them listen to it. Hey, you could do this better, you could do that. And it just re got me familiar with the craft again. So I think it's extremely important to practice, Mike. And it does matter because if you don't know where a break point is or you don't know what something is, you just gonna do whatever. And it could be it won't kill it, but it could be a bad spot for you. Yeah.
Murder.
You got to dance floor, you got to build it back up because you didn't know where to get out of it at, or where the break point was, or where where you can roll out of it and get into the next one. So practicing is important, and just knowing your music, knowing and understanding your music.
And if you don't know your music, how can you be good in situational awareness?
Yeah, because you got to be able to change situations on a dime with music.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's important, man, and it's easy for us to dummy it down and make it not important because we don't feel the need or we don't want to do what we need to do to be better. But
Wow.
it's important. And us as a DJ, and I'm gonna just say this here. If people are paying you to DJ and they're paying for an experience, who are you not to practice? People are paying you. You're getting paid to practice. And why are you not doing it? That man, and sometimes we feel like, oh man, I won't see this person again. You might not see that person again. You sure in hell ain't gonna see the other people in the room again either that might want to hire you.
I'm trying not to fade off the screen again. But those are great points, Mike. And Daryl had a good response too. If you don't practice what you love, do you really love it? I mean, can you say you love what you're doing if you just show up to play right there on the spot? Is that really a love for what you're doing? Are you not cheating your clients because you're not ready and you don't have it down, and
And you know what? And for those that may listen today, tomorrow, or the next day, please don't take this as a assault on you. If you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do, take this as a as a dare,
yeah,
or
yeah,
take this as an incentive to do what you need to do. Because man, sidebar, would you feel threatened if somebody that could really do this was at your event and you had to go on a bathroom break or had to go do something for about 35 minutes to an hour and they took your turn? They took your spot and DJ for you. Would you be able to follow up behind them? I'm just,
what you want me to say?
he didn't fade it away again. I'm just saying,
What you want me to say?
those are real situations, Jeff.
I'm saying, what do you want me to say? I mean, I understand what you're saying, and you're right. And I'm so glad. I had a friend that told me, he said, never be afraid because you're gonna learn something. But there's not very many people. Well, there's some that would let somebody do that. I mean, get on.
I'm just saying, it's situations, man. I just feel like let's not do a disservice to the people that's going to hire us today, tomorrow, next year, or so forth. There you go again.
To the people
Because
hire us today, tomorrow.
we are not doing our part in regards to bettering ourselves. Practicing is beyond important, man. If you don't practice, you hurting yourself because it's like fine tuning. And there is not a profession in the world that someone would tell you practicing is not important in regards to that profession. I don't even care if you're a criminal. You got to practice to keep doing better at crime.
Hey, yeah. Oh wow, that's yeah. You gotta practice that. But first of all, it's like any sport too. You gotta learn the fundamentals too before you jump in. And if you don't have the fundamentals, you can't practice. You can't get better if you don't know how to do it. So it all go hands in hand. If you practice, you're getting better at it. You've learned the fundamentals to become a better person. But if you don't, then you're gonna always remain,
And in today's time, man, there's really no excuse because you can get on YouTube and somebody will teach you how to do everything that you need to do from a DJ as a DJ. There is no excuse. But some may say, oh, I don't have this. I don't have time. I don't have this. You got time to go do their event.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right.
They paid you to do their event. You can make time. You didn't got paid to do an event. So how you going to sit up there and utter such words, I don't have time? Okay, well, don't have time to do their event because you ain't practiced. Give it to somebody else that practiced. We're gonna go to the next one.
Yeah, because you've going hard in the paint right here. Yeah. Which is all true. It's not like any of us are lying, so ain't nothing wrong with telling the truth. Yep.
And I'm sorry if the truth hurts. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at yourself.
Yep. Practice, or get better.
Yeah, and if you need help with something, you can sidebar me. I do not mind helping nobody. If I can help you, and if I can't, I guarantee I'll lead you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. Do you have a problem with sharing?
No, of course I don't.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, no, I don't. But do you mean music, information? What do you mean when you say that?
Well, I mean information. I can understand music to a certain extent because some people expect you to just give them your entire library, and and that's not being considerate of what a person may have went through to accumulate that. That's work. When I sit in my office and download music for 3 or 4 hours, no, I'm not going to give you 3 or 4 hours of my time, and you just no. But when it comes to sharing information, leading people in the right direction from a business standpoint, and helping people to be better at their craft, no, I have no problem with that. And I think that's something that we all need to learn to do. Share. Why make a person go through something that they shouldn't have through because you don't want to share or you feel like there's a learning lesson in them struggling? That doesn't make sense. What if your parents did you like that? Say, well, son, uh, I had to work at the mill for $2. You gonna work at the mill for $2. Instead of saying, son, go to school, get your education, get your college education where you can get a job that's paying you uh, over $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a tough one, Mike, because a lot of people see where I had to do this, I had to do that, so I'm going to make you have to do it. And I don't understand. I mean, I understand it to a certain extent because there's certain things that people need to be able to,
Yes.
that you got to go research, at least make an effort. Because I'm gonna say this, two pieces bad about that too. I had to find out, so you got to find out. You know, but I think it's how people treat you. I'm not going to give you something if you're not giving me anything. If you're not pouring into the basket and you're just taking out the basket, being a crab, just taking, and I can't call you and get anything, then yeah, that's how I see it. If say like just take DJ1. If DJ1 is not doing anything, what DJ2 is doing, pouring in, then I'll share with DJ2. But one, he gonna have to prove himself worthy. So that would be my only limitation to it. So I like to share, and some people whatever, I'll just do it across the board. But if I find out that you are take, as Puffy would say, and no give, then that's gonna cut down, how much I'm willing to give you without, because we should be a give and take relationship. If I share something with you, you should be able to share some knowledge with me or drop a nugget on me every now and then instead of just it being Nuggetville from over here.
Yeah, and basically what you're saying, you're not going to cast your Jews among swine.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally agree with you. Now, I will not share and help someone that's not willing to share or help. I don't think I'm not going to deal with selfish people that it's all about them and help and share with them. It has to be, a team thing. I'm big on team.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're a team, that means that we're all pouring into each other. And it's not just a give. I mean, a take. We talked about this the other day where I was telling you about a movie, and the guy in the movie said the object of life is to give and not to take. But we know that there's a lot of takers out there that only thing they want to do is just take. And for those people, once I realize that you are a taker, I won't share nothing with you.
Yeah, but overall, you don't have a problem. But I'm gonna give you this. This is from the quote from 2-Piece, something that I have lived by. My wife, she said, "He only blesses those that he can get a blessing through. So if he blesses you, and you don't bless anybody else, you cutting your blessing off. Just like the big give, he blessed us to have a great year." And by that, we all some of us turn around and bless somebody else. So hopefully the blessing that we gave that young lady, she'll turn around and bless somebody else, So if the blessing is just going to stop with you, then that's where it comes in for me that I can't, if you're just going to eat it all up for yourself and not, share with, and then just think that's the ones that really piss me off too. You give them something, but then you hear that they wouldn't tell somebody else what you told them, or they're not sharing, or they're not willing to do stuff with somebody. So, let's just be,
And when I thought about this question kind of stemmed from one of the old ways of thinking when I first started DJing, back in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
You remember the time where guys used to mark out their vinyl where
Oh
you could
yeah, and we'll tell you where they got the
yeah,
record from.
when wouldn't tell you who or
Yeah,
what,
who it was, where it came
you
from.
know. So that type of mentality still exists
Oh, it
in
does.
our industry,
Oh, brother,
you
yeah. There's
know.
people in the
And
industry. Where did you get that light from? Oh man, I got it from such and such, or they'll send you around the world instead of sending you straight to the source.
yeah,
Is that
so
necessary? No.
yeah, so when I came up with this, that's really the area that I was looking at, which everything that we've touched on is true, and I agree with wholeheartedly. But you do have guys out there like that, and that's to me that's a cancer to our industry.
Oh yeah, big time.
You
So
know,
just
you
scam
know,
be pulled back. Yep.
yeah, and that kills me when you ask the guy, "Hey man, what song is that?" "Oh, I don't know, man." So you telling me what song that is going to kill you as a DJ, or it's going to allow me to take your events or your next event. And if that's the case, then you need to stop DJing. You know,
I don't know why I was like that back in the day. I've never been like that, man. I'm gonna even tell you, hey, I got it from Sunny Music. If you want,
Mhm.
or I'm with Atlanta. I remember a day Atlanta Record Pool. If you want something from me, that's where it's coming from, Atlanta Record Pool. So, hey, here's the information. All that selfishness and trying to hide. Yeah, you want. And I remember I was on the radio and his name was Tracy B. And I'm just throwing all kind of shade. He had this one song that everybody liked in his college town. Like it was a house cut. And so he felt like that one song, and they almost made it into that one song was like a difference maker. And then, but it's just crazy because man, he was on the radio one night doing a mix show. Brother, it was so bad. And then he told me I had a bad night. I said, "Yeah, you had a bad night, brother. You had a really, really bad night."
Must wasn't practicing.
Tune into the show tonight and see how it's so. But yeah, so God, that's just
Yeah.
terrible.
And,
I'm like, what song? Man, I can't tell you this. So
yeah.
we have Shazam and all that now, but I don't. But that was just horrible back in the day when people did that.
Yeah.
I hope nobody's doing that today.
Oh, he's still doing it. I'm gonna share a story, and I think I've shared this with you before.
Uh-huh.
A close friend of mine, DJ Mad Scientist, one of my closest buddies. Me and Mad share, we share a lot of things, equipment, music, all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the same library. When he come across big, a lot of music, he shares it with me and so forth. So we have a lot of music.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular DJ, Mag gave him some of the music. So I remember, I was he had put something on Facebook. He had this song that I remembered that we used to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So I instant messaged him and asked him, "Hey, man, can you send me that track?" And his exact words, "Man, I really don't share music with nobody, man. I really don't get down like that." And and I'm sitting there, my thoughts to myself, because at this time when he said that, I'm having a conversation with myself. I'm like, fool, you got my music over there on your hard drive. And you don't even know that you playing my music that somebody else then gave you.
You didn't ask for a playlist
Oh,
or genre. You asked for one song.
a song.
Mm-hmm.
So, me being the big person, I never said, "Hey, dude, well, you got my music over there." I didn't even do that. I left it at that. He ended up sending the song, but that told me a whole lot about him. And I told Mad, I said, "Don't you give him another song."
Yes. Yes.
And that's the crazy thing when you have people that do stuff and they don't even realize the effects of their actions.
Yes. Yeah. And they gonna hurt you, but really and truly they hurting themselves. Yeah.
Not realizing that you're giving them food.
Or you didn't feed them.
Yeah.
And all you asked them was for a piece of bread.
Yeah. They don't even know the source of some of their food. And then, yeah. So that was funny. and thank you, Corey. I'm glad that we can be an inspiration
Yes.
to you, sir. I appreciate that, and you're right. People, people make time for what's important to them, and that's a wonderful point. And I hate to go back, but I have to touch on that.
It's okay. Spin it back.
Yeah, yeah. I have I have to touch on that. We have to really question what's important to us when it comes to our business and what we do. And if practicing and being a better DJ is not important to you for the clients that are hiring you and that are paying you their hard earned money, and you can't find time for that, uh, wow, wow, you are some type of person. You're some type of person. Question. Hold on. A question. What
Don't answer that,
what
Mike.
all do you think about?
Don't answer that, Mike. But go ahead.
Answer that
Yeah, go ahead. Answer the question, Mike. Go ahead.
about sharing login credentials to DJ pools.
Be legal, Mike.
Corey, I only share that type of information with people that add to the pie.
Yeah, that share with
Yeah.
you. Or
I have other guys that I deal with, and between us, we share about maybe 7 or 8 different pools, but we all add to the pie.
yeah, we're not
And
just
I
taking
wouldn't,
take.
yeah, I wouldn't dare share that with somebody that doesn't add to the pie because I'm taking food out of their mouth. So that's how I feel about that. I don't have a problem with sharing, but I do have a problem with people eating and they won't feed nobody else.
Yeah, or showing up with foil and a takeaway, take home plate, and
Yeah,
ain't brought none to the
yeah,
Christmas dinner or to Thanksgiving. But
mhm,
they got their foil and their fork and they carry out plate
yeah,
already before
yeah.
they get there to
Yeah.
eat.
Only money they invested in was buying them plates.
Yeah, getting
Yeah,
a ride over there.
yeah.
Yes,
Well, Corey, what I would tell you, if they not adding to, I wouldn't. I don't care
yeah,
about them asking.
yeah, yeah,
They can ask all day, but if they not helping you to be better, then that's a one-sided relationship.
yeah. So, do we have one more, Mike, or we got?
Yeah, yeah, we do have one more, and
Okay.
and then we'll have our final. Ask us anything.
Okay.
Networking, is it necessary? I'll let you have that one. I'll let you start that one. I got a whole lot on
Oh
that.
yeah, it's definitely, to me it's necessary, and you could do it on several different levels with the associations, the groups, or whatever, and networking with other DJs and planners and everything. I think it's totally necessary, and I'll just leave it as simple as that.
Yeah, and I agree with you. If you're trying to grow your business, I think it's very necessary. And networking and meeting new people, it just farthers your horizon. It helps you to be, better in so many ways, man. There are so many advantages to networking. And to close yourself off into a box or this little community is only putting a chokehold on how much you can make. It's killing your business. You know, so you need to network. And I know there's some of us out there that may say, "Oh man, I'm shy. I don't like being around people or this or that." Well, maybe you're in the wrong business
Yeah,
because
but
you
really,
know.
and truly, all you have to do is show up, and people just see you. Sometimes you don't
Oh
have to
yeah,
say,
and
just show up.
yeah.
And I mean, another two-piece. She showed up for years and never said anything. And finally, when she introduced herself at one of at Chic Network, it totally changed her business, and they've been throwing business her way ever since. So I mean, it's just showing up. And another guy owns a bartending company said he just showed up and he talked to a lady, nothing came out of it. But 2 years later, she gave him a 6-figure opportunity, just by showing up and being there and doing good work. And you don't have to volunteer, your time, but just show up and be in certain spaces and say, hello, hey, I'm such and such, I do this. You ain't got to walk in, and just try to be the star of the show or take over the room, but just show up and network, rub some elbows. Hey, how you doing? I'm such and such. This is who I. So they can put names with the Instagram page or the Facebook page, so they can put a face with it. Know it's an actual human and not just the name of a company.
Yeah, and I'll say this here, fraternity brothers of mine will always
That's
say
a good one. I like that. Not working. Yep.
it's only one letter difference in networking versus networking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mario. I love that. I'll say this here, Jeff. Another story. I wouldn't be in this group today if it wasn't for a guy inviting me out to one of the quarterly DJ events, gatherings. And I used to be a person that wouldn't go to those type of things, and I went, and it was one of the best things that happened to me. And I remember that first event, I had so much fun, and it was such a great experience being able to talk to my peers, other people that understood, some of the same things that I understood and felt the way that I felt. And just going to those events were awesome. And it created, it introduced me to a whole lot more people, and my family of friends grew even bigger. So that's just from a DJ standpoint. But look at that from a business standpoint and going to these other events, like you say, some of the places or groups that you're a part of. Man, only thing that has done for your business, Jeff, is it has grown your business.
Oh, yeah.
It has grown your business.
Yeah, and like I say, it's just okay. They may not do something for you or call you tomorrow, but 6 months down the road, you don't never know what those relationships are growing into, because people quit, people change, people, hey, I need a fresh face or I need something different. Let me get this guy a try, just anything to try to connect and, just be available, be ready when when somebody calls on you to do something, show up and show out. So networking and if somebody asks you to do something in networking, go ahead and do it if it's within your, wheelhouse, or it's something that, it ain't gonna kill you or break you.
And sometimes when it comes to those type of things, man, don't live only for today. Give yourself the ability to try to live for tomorrow. And some things that you do today will not reward you today, but it will reward you tomorrow.
And I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I don't think I did, but there was a brother that's living in San Antonio that
you did
move up here.
Yeah, you did.
And he felt networking so important that he volunteered to do the Vendor Alliance Association party all the way from San Antonio. He drove up, did the event, and network. Hey, I'm getting ready to move here. I want to start making connections now. So if networking is not important, I'm not sure. That told me a lot right there, how much he wants to come into the market already knowing some folks or having some recommendations. So I think it's extremely important, Mike.
And what we need to learn to do also, man, get out of your comfort zone, man. If you don't like, if it's hard for you to be around a lot of people and talk and so forth, break yourself of that. We're DJs for the most part.
Yeah.
Man, our whole that, and we were talking about this the other day. DJing, the whole craft of DJing has always been about, us showing something. Some people may call it show offs or however you want to call it. Oh, it's a sighting. Oh, wow. She showed up through the green screen. Wow.
I had to make his night.
Wow.
Yes, okay. You had to make your night, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, but before we get off, man, let's talk about that question Chris had. You got that one in there, or real quick? We had one of the DJs in the group ask a question about when you go into a new, like say a club or a bar or just anything, and the person that is usually there doesn't want to share any information with you, the manager or whoever is really not helpful, how do you handle that, or what do you do? You know, how do you prepare for something? Well, I mean, I guess there's things we could do too. You could go listen one night and see what he's doing and check it out and go get the vibe for yourself. But never put your fate in somebody else's hand that is, I won't say against you, but that you could possibly replace. Never allow that person to be in control of your fate. Man. Never.
And also, and we talked about this, and he talked about, you know, when you have situations where the say the manager like, oh yeah, man, just go on out there and do your thing. We just want to see how you can react to this situation. You know, that's where practicing our craft and
Being familiar with the music, yes.
practicing our craft, being good in situational awareness, and things of that nature are important because, man, just think about it. The more that you do this for the, you know, more people and different types of people, it's like you're getting more skin in the game and you're understanding different situations, how people may respond to certain things. Now, like when you're in a club, it's a different atmosphere. It may be one of those type of clubs where they just, you know, everything ground and pound. And you have to be able to look out there and be able to identify emotions, be able to plug songs into those emotions.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And know that we're in a business where there is a large amount of people that are selfish and they're all about self-preservation. And when they see you as a threat to their very existence as a DJ. So the last thing that they're going to do is help you. It's like being on a job, Jeff. You're the supervisor.
Yeah.
And your supervisor brings me up there and say, hey, Jeff, I want you to train Mike to do everything that you know how to do. First thing you're going to think, what?
They finna give him my job.
They finna replace me?
Or am I getting your job? Yeah. Or am I going to replace you? Yeah, I know you. But let me ask this question right quick. For DJs in a group that usually have a sample mix on, there's no need to do that, brother. You get on Mixcloud or SoundCloud or whatever, and you can have a mix and just give them a link and they can go. No need to carry a jump drive. That's past beyond technology. You can put in a Google Drive and just send a link to your Google Drive. Technology, use it, embrace it. There's no need to buy 100 sticks or flash drives to give somebody when you can point them to your Mixcloud or your SoundCloud or Google Drive or whatever else you can store it on. Have a mix readily available, 2 or 3 of them here. Go check out my page. I do it all the time. Hey, man, go check out my Mixcloud, SoundCloud. There it is. And they can go listen.
And if you look at that flash drive like an 8-track.
Yeah, it's old, brother.
It's outdated. When you can just send them a link.
Yeah. And matter of fact, record yourself live sometime. You can even give them a voice. You know, hey, this is me in action at a club. This is me in action at a wedding. This is me somewhere doing something. You could just, you know, have something for them to listen to. And it could be there all the time. People can go listen to that stuff without you pointing them there and find you that way and hire you that way.
That's marketing.
So you can't get hired from a jump drive that you ain't never gave nobody.
That's marketing, Jeff.
I know.
101.
You know, me and you, we trying to technology it up, brother. If we can get it. Yo, Lord. One Piece. Yep. So, but if with anything else, I hope that I don't mean to kick you, Daryl, but I'm just telling you, it's easier to have it on the net, as the older people say, on the web, so they can get to it. You know, hey, you want to hear it? Because, you know, people always ask for mixing different things. Here you go. You got it right here. Here's a link. Go get it. Yeah.
Anybody have any other questions? Any other questions out there? You know, final requests. Any other questions?
It's great to wonder, Dale. That's a great wondering question, but
that was a good question. That was a great question.
But if you want to carry some around, And then just think every client is not like I have a client now. He asked me for a CD. I'm not carrying around no CD. So I wish I could bring him up to technology wise, but
Some people don't even know how to use a USB.
I don't have a Isaac Hayes CD in my back pocket. So
Yeah.
I don't know even how I'm gonna get him some, but I'm gonna figure out something to get him some music for what he asked for. So
And there's going to always be those awkward situations where you're dealing with people that may not know how to use a thumb drive. They may not even know how to click on the link to listen to it.
yeah.
So you're going to always have those type of situations. And sometimes I ask myself, is this my client?
Yeah. But just a quick recap. Hey, once again, thank everybody that participated in the big give.
Well, I said hi.
Yeah, make sure you are aware of your surroundings. Handle your requests with the utmost respect, and just everything about the business. Be professional, y'all. I can't remember all the topics, so I'm just gonna break them down right there.
And if there's any further questions, you can sidebar either me or Jeff. It doesn't matter. Hey, find us. We're there. Ask the question. Until then, until next week.
Corey, look forward to meeting you next week, brother.
Oh yeah. Oh, you going up there, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be down that way.
Yeah, you got the video chat me where I can see old Corey.
Okay, all right, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Mike, as Dion would say, give us the theme music.
Yes, I'm about to give it to you.
Good night, everybody.
Yep. Oh, that's the wrong one.